That's all.
Nonchalant final fucking boss, I guess. The fuck is this shit?
Yep, yep. All right, get ready. Three, two, one. Okay, recording.
We did not double swing at the wrong time. We actually just fucked up the double swing.
Chill, chill. Okay, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another METASHIFT episode. It's been a while. It's a long time coming. Today we're gonna be talking about uh the last open qualifier, and today I have two special guests with me. Introduce yourselves.
You can go first.
Oh, I am okay. Understood.
It's good.
Oh, there. I'm POWERPIXELE. I'm the IGL for Wadada, and I place second in stage 1 for NAGC.
Hello, I'm Luna1. I am a player for YDZ Black. I primarily play Duelist, and I use the Odin a lot.
Yeah. That's good. And so I guess to start it off today, we're gonna be talking about, well, obviously last qualifier and the qualified teams. So, oh, I forgot to screen share to you guys so you can see what I'm looking at. Oops.
You're locked.
No, that's good. Um,
Oh, it's actually fire. You call it 3-2-1 peak, and one guy didn't swing, and the other person swung. Fire.
all good, all good. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about this game and all the
Wait, I'm
qualified teams. The
confused.
first one.
Damn, instantly just fucking flaming.
Wait, hang on. Pause.
Just
What?
insta
What'd you
flame.
say?
Just insta flame.
What happened?
Am I watching this screen share? I thought I was recording face cams.
Oh shoot. I mean, you can. We're just looking at the Hockey Mori versus YDZ.
Oh, I'll just pull it up on
Just
my own
insta
then.
flame.
Yeah, you know what it is. So, I guess since Luna One, you were playing. What do you think about this game in Hockey Mori qualifying?
I think it was a rough game going into it. Obviously, we went into it with the expectation of being able to at least take a map off of them. And they chose Split, which we weren't really expecting and weren't ready for. Probably one of YZ's weakest maps. Overall, I feel like they have 5 really good shooters. I think if you can get a good map off of them, they'll be weaker on the second map. We did start down 2-10 on our defense, but did make the comeback to the 12-12 and sadly just choked a 4v2.
True. What do you think about their comp?
It's a
on
comp.
Split?
It's definitely a comp. It's the same as ours, but they played it
Oh, no
interesting.
shit.
They were kind of just running down mid half the rounds on their defense.
Sounds about
just putting a Viper Orb up mid and then just full flashing and fighting a 3.
And what about Lotus? How's Lotus?
Lotus, I mean, their comp is... Yep, that's a comp of all time. They ran the double smokes. The Clove would like to put the A cross smoke and just kind of play for duels, play the ones. I definitely think it suits their team that they have, but I don't think I liked the Yoru.
Or what do you think about this PowerPixel?
I think what you'll probably expect for Mori going into like OQ and Swiss probably is a lot of double duelists. And generally speaking, I think double orb smokes is probably gonna be the comps as well that they are gonna like to play. That being like Astra plus Omen or Clove plus Omen, some type of combination like that. I do kind of wonder because of the fact that I do notice that a lot of the current maps, such as Corrode and Bind as well, you can get away with these comps, but it's not nearly as good as it was in the last map pool. So I kind of wonder how they'll do with that going ahead.
I agree.
Besides that, Higikimori, I think this is a lot better of a showing from the last iteration that they had, where they can't even play like Swiss. So
Yeah.
the org probably feels a lot better, and I think stepping forward, a lot of these players I think it's a very good opportunity, especially for like Kurosu, Autumn, Cal, Bunny Bean, Terror, because all of them are good players in my perspective, and
Mhm.
I think it's very interesting to see them in this context on this team because a lot of them are people who have stayed in certain groups and teams for a very long period. But this is the first time where we're starting to see them like branch out. Cal, for example, being part of Teddy, Iris being with her group, and Kurosu being from Fisher, and Bunny B from Ghost, plus just generally speaking, YFPX Overkill and those type of places.
Yeah.
I do think they have a very strong mechanical team, but
Mhm.
I think what they lack is kind of like the not the macro but the micro. I feel like they don't really swing very well together. I feel like a lot of their potential improvement could come from maybe putting in that little bit of time to like just play with your teammates more.
Honestly, W Rage Bait by you. Actually, W Rage Bait. King the last word against the Hakiki Mori. That is fucking shameless.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't watch this game, but I agree with
Dang.
what you guys are saying.
WF on a
Fucking
shelf.
W. Actually,
Um,
W.
okay. So yeah, Hockey Mori, first team to qualify. Pretty good team is a consensus. I mean, I'll say, without watching their games, like I've played against and with Terror, like not on a team obviously, but she's insane. So that's all I need to know. And Kurosu, like Stanos. And then the other team to qualify was Mac and Cheese, which pretty good. I played with Elaborate a lot before. She dropped like 30 on Haven when I played with her once, so she's really good. Super talented. What do you guys think about Mac and Cheese qualifying?
I think they're probably one of the better teams out of the like who we're gonna see at qualify through OQ, in my perspective, just generally speaking. Because my main question with them is not like how good they're gonna be, because I know they're gonna be good. It's more of just are they able to obtain a coach? Because I do know that this team does not have a coach, but I think if they were to obtain a coach, they could definitely push to the next level and make main event for stage 2.
I do think going into this tournament, Mac and Cheese was kind of looked on as like they could be really good, but I think a lot of overall like players were putting them kind of lower than expected, just off the fact that like it's a brand new core. Like there's nobody. All these players came from like different parts of the scene, different teams, and I mean, in some cases, some of these players are even off rolling. I feel like with I believe Starlight was
No,
used to be a recon
Pretty sure
player.
there's
it's always been a controller.
yeah. They play recon too, but most play controller.
Oh, okay.
A
But
little flexible.
I do think
Never
this
limit.
is an interesting team to come out of this qualifier into Swiss stage because I feel like if they get a lot of time to practice, this team could become like a dark horse of the tournament.
Yeah.
I could definitely see them breaking into the main event. That's for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm surprised a lot of people rated them low. Like I feel like just looking at the roster, it's like no weak spots. I mean, to be honest, I don't know who Kaidi is, so not gonna lie about that. But everyone else, like very well known, very good players.
Zoe. I don't know who that player is.
They used to compete. They wound up
Yeah,
retiring.
I
Yeah.
remember.
They're a strong player back in like 2023.
Yeah, well, I
Their
mean,
old name used to be Zoe, like way back when, but then they changed to Scratches and went to Latin for a small amount of time. But I guess they're back now. That's cool.
yeah, pretty good team. Good players. Logic is like sub 10 ping, so something to know. And then the next team to
That's
qualify.
fucked up. You just bring that up and just fucking scroll over. That's fucked.
Well, bro, like if I was on sub 10 ping, I'm not gonna lie, I would be up there too, but that's another story. We have artificial intelligence. No, I swear to God, bro, I swear to God.
Elf does play on 80
Versus,
ping.
bro, it's fucked. It's fucked. Like, give me 20 ping, I'm at least making Swiss. Anyway, artificial intelligence. The team we saw lose to Mac and Cheese, lose out to 10xGC for 10xGC to qualify. I don't know if they were third or if you guys were third, but either way, they made it through. Um,
I believe YDZ was third overall.
oh. All right, well, we'll do you guys last. Too bad. This seems pretty good. I'll give my take. I played with JJ before. I think she's really good. Mechanically, she also brings pretty good vibes and like her comms. I don't know if she was IGLing for this team, but she's definitely like, even though I was IGLing the team I played on with her, like she just mid rounds pretty heavy. She never makes a bad call. Like if the call doesn't work it's execution. You know what I mean? Like she's like one of those players who have a pretty good head on their shoulders. Like more often than not, they're gonna make the right play. So very good player to have around a group that I think is a little like unexperienced. I haven't heard a lot of these players, so it's
Treats
like a
is
good.
Silly Seal.
Sober Sushi's, Teddy Tactics.
Oh shit.
Sober Sushi's not Teddy Tactics. You're thinking of Cal
Oh.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drunk high and fucking stupid. I guess I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know any of these players.
They do have 3 newer faces. I mean, Jera, for instance, and Roses not really having any previous experience outside of 10x League.
Yeah.
Sober Sushi as well. Silly Seal obviously like has been known around for a while, but has never really had that long-term team. I feel like.
Mhm.
I think I don't really think I can put a team to Silly Seal. I think they're a very puggy player, and I think that is showed on this team as well. I think JJ definitely brings the vibes and the calls, but I think they have kind of like 3 or 4 high impact fraggers, and then they kind of play around that.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't watch any of their games either, so I don't know. I mean, I played against them, and oh shit, what I just do? Their clove dropped like 40 on me, so I guess it goes back to their fragger capability. They definitely have a lot of shooters. Kind of like a lot of these GC teams. More often than not, you'll just see like 1 or 2 people who can shoot pretty heavy, and they get carried off of that. And I guess what's the big difference, like a team like Wadada, No Glaze, is that they also have shooters and they also have callers. So that's where you see like the big. They do, yeah. That's where you see the big gap between like certain skill levels.
I do think, as somebody who played against 10x and knocked them down to that lower bracket, I think they play better when they have that confidence rolling, but I feel like once their confidence is gone, it's kind of going to be hard for them to get that back, and that's going to take more time, just like playing the tournaments.
Yeah.
I'll finish off any notes.
No, I have no notes. Well, I have more notes on Berserker's Dawn because I watched like all their games. I don't know why I always do this. I like for some reason watch all Berserker's Dawn's games.
Maybe a little bit of anger felt towards Berserker's Dawn.
No, I don't know why. I'm not even hate watching.
Interesting.
But the last team to qualify, or I guess third team, but we'll talk about you last. YDC Black, your team versus Berserker's Dawn. I guess I'll give my quick takeaway on Berserker's Dawn. Good team. I think their biggest advantage, like the OQs and the Swiss stage before, was how practiced they were and how many coaches they had around them. So it's kind of unfortunate this go round. Like they're pretty much playing with a sub. I mean, this tourney or this match in itself, they're playing with any sub. Arya isn't even on the team, so they have 2 like players who aren't even part of the system. So it's pretty hard to win like that. And then YDC is good. Yeah. What do you think, Luna?
So I think obviously going into this Berserker's Dawn, playing with 2 subs really is just miserable. Like, I think they realistically should have qualified in that upper bracket, or at least made it very close. If they hadn't had 2 subs, I think their IGL power is very strong. Their coaches are very strong. And obviously Abby 2K, that's all you need for the shooting, honestly. But they have a lot of good shooters. I do think they have a bit of role issues.
Why is your cursor hovering over that? That's fucked up. No, that's actually fucked up.
No, okay, I disagree, but
no, you can't keep a straight face. No, it's actually fucked.
I just don't think Abby 2K is a shooter that you need.
All right.
I'll elaborate. Yeah, I don't think Abby 2K.
I want you to stand on business on this one.
Listen. I think she's a good player. I don't think she's a great player. Okay, I'm looking at the roster here. Like, you're definitely missing out on like I said, they have a sub. They went 10 and 34. No offense to Biffy, but there's definitely it's lacking some firepower. That's my
I mean, we can look at other games to see if that conclusion is true. If you want,
we could. I'm not a stats merchant.
Me personally, I would never take that level of disrespect.
I do think in this personal game, Abby got caught out more, and I think that came from kind of like the team's overall macro level rather than individual firepower.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a stats merchant. I don't think Abby's terrible. I just wouldn't title her a shooter. I mean, she hasn't gotten positive in a while. I also think it goes back to what I was saying before we started the podcast about Yoru players in GC. I don't think there's a Yoru player in GC. So playing Yoru
You can
is
take a look at
very
Nova.
Nova. Oh, well, yeah. That. What they want -2, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no Yoru players. So even if Abby was like an insane shooter, you're just put on an uncomfortable role.
That is
You
something I
go
wanted
double
to know.
negative.
They do have extreme role issues. We have our duelist, like our contact entry duelist rather, on IGL.
Yeah.
We have double duelist comps that are not only like weird comps, but also like kind of hard to IGL around. And then obviously they have the Vise on Ascent, which I don't like. But I think that was more of a comfort pick for Biffy.
Damn, you don't fuck with the fucking Vice on that. That's fucked
I
up.
think you need another Senti for sure. I think that's like a double Senti type of Sentinel.
I think something we tried to specifically punish on our attack Ascent was we knew their Vise would toss the deep B main Ascent wall. Like they would walk up B main and put the wall deeper.
Mhm.
In which we kind of just caught them out on that quite a few times.
Yeah. I don't like seeing those deep balls. I saw another team do it towards A, and it's like so easy to bait out those deep main holes. And I will say, like I was saying this while I was watch partying the team. Like I feel like Kestrel is just so cooked in this role. Like I don't know what you guys think. But I feel like having an IGL on Duelist is just like two things that can't coincide. Like I feel like that shit will just never work. Like you're trying to entry, look at your map, look at your crosshair, and then you're trying to like mid round. I don't think that will ever work. That's just like my personal take.
I
Is it
do
the
think
same?
IGLing
Yeah.
on Duelist is very hard. I think it most of the time should not be done. I think Kestrel is an example of somebody who can do it, but it is going to take time. And I think
Yeah.
doing that with the double duelist is not going to work. I think you
Mhm.
need to run the solo duelist if you're also going to be going for that duelist IGL.
Yeah. It's also tough because they had two subs. Like I think if she
Yeah.
IGLs, if she has like just one teammate who can pick up some mid rounds, it makes it a lot easier. But maybe with two subs, there's like less comms and stuff, so you never know.
POWERPIXELE, our Radiant 100% guaranteed IGL player. What are your thoughts on this?
Let's see. Castro the analyst work for Wadada when we were at main event. And I will state that this person is very smart. Like she ironically is a very smart player. I think for sure I see your point about like the whole entire IGLing and duelists and stuff like that. But there is like this discussion point of like what's optimal versus like what's actually possible. Like you can't ask someone else like to IGL, right? Like it's not very feasible to be like, okay, instead of like this person that is able to IGL and like wants to try and stuff like that, because it's not optimal, we should like throw them off IGLing. I don't think that's very I don't think that's
Yeah.
the like greatest perspective to have. Because like I will admit as well that we were talking about a team that has two subs and everything, and they were literally one match off from qualifying.
True.
So like I don't know about you, but like two subs, one match off the qualifying. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think the only thing that like I would like critique or something like that is just like okay, going into like the next OQ, just get some people that like are gonna be there, are buy into the system and shit like that. And I think for sure they'll qualify in just through OQ2, generally speaking. I don't think they have to change that much, to be honest. I think the only things that they need to change, and partly because of the fact that I have been told a little bit of their situation, is just like simplify the game for themselves. I think a lot of the time, one of the scary things that you can do as a team is overcomplicate when you really don't have to. You should play towards like what you're comfortable in. Because imagine, right, Elf on a Shelf. I told you one day, like I told you, okay,
Mhm.
play Deadlock. You've never played Deadlock, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the optimal thing to do, quote unquote.
Right.
and you go like quadruple negative, you would fucking kill me. You would ironically just murder me after the match, right? You would old yeller me, no questions asked.
I wouldn't be happy.
Yes, obviously. So it's like, okay, we've now seen like what is like quote unquote optimal, and like we're now finding our balance of like comfort. So going into the next OQ, I think if they figure that out for themselves and get personnel like aligned and everything, they'll be chilling.
I also think something that's going to be a struggle with this team, though, is I don't know if you guys have checked their Twitter on Berserkers. They are, I believe, LF2? Elf on a Shelf?
Was that for the GC, or I think that was for their main team?
Is it?
I saw one for the main team.
This is the time, to be honest, to make roster changes. If you are looking to make roster changes, now is the fucking time.
That is for their main. It's LF3.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not.
I mean, they should be LFP though, since they literally have 2 subs.
I remember having a conversation with someone where it was like, after OQ2, unironically, I feel as if like this is the time for a lot of people, if they like if they really want to win, to like form their own squadrons, like reach out to people, fucking make it happen. Because I know when I, generally speaking, make teams, let it be on like Team Mystic Venus way back when, or like even like Wadadar, like PP. There's a lot of moments where I was the person making contacts and making sure who I wanted was on the team. Let that be like coaching staff or players.
Yeah.
So, like if anyone is watching this and you're in GC and competing, I heavily incentivize you and support the idea of actually taking initiative and kind of determining what you want to do if you like really want to win. Because I understand the point that a lot of people have made throughout the years of like, oh, GC teams are so bad because they disband after every event, right? It's bad because of the fact that you leave all 5 people. Like all 5 people leave. That's like the real issue at hand. It is fine, in my perspective, completely, to grab like 2 people that are new and like work with them because of the fact that like they've proven themselves, or they're hungry for it. I think that's completely cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of disbands, though, did we see the news about Prosperity and Catnappers?
Oh, what a freaking segue,
No, I
bro.
can't read. No, I can't
You're
read.
good.
I'm very sorry.
I actually don't know what happened
Yeah.
with Catnappers, so please fill me in on myself. I think you can leave in the Oppie if you want. Because I think
Okay.
Oppie's fine with that.
I might get slimed out, bro. I don't know.
How much banter do I talk about 10x?
Bro, you should banter them heavy, bro. That team, bro, I swear, like, their players are, like, low-key obnoxious.
They crashed out on me on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I saw it. Like, I don't like their players. They're, like, annoying. Let me take a picture so I know what time I need to go to get stuff. Wait, so then should we just take respawn cats completely out? Or should we just say, like, we're just guessing? Like, we just have insider
I think
source?
we just take it.
I am terrified.
Okay. Well, can I just talk about how bad Oss is, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's BM.
Ironically, just shit talking on the fucking podcast type shit, I guess.
That's crazy.
And what am I supposed to analyze? Like, okay, if I analyze the macro of this team, I just see Oss dead first on Omen every round. Like, what do we do about that?
I don't even think that was happening that much. I feel like Cora got caught out a lot, especially versus Berserkers
Yeah,
on Lotus.
yeah, no, that's true.
Got caught out a
She
lot
had
on
an
that B main.
insane back game. Yeah. It's like a 1-0. Like, I swear she was doing insane the whole tournament before that. Wait.
She was, in fact, before yesterday, she was #1 in stats.
Blood is ironically just guessing.
Wait, how? How is she one, bro? She's like literally negative every
Blood
game.
is just guessing. It is just fucked.
She
Bro,
was
I just
number
swear,
1 in
like,
KD.
Cora's just like in. Oh my god. She only farms bad teams. She's a fraud.
This is crazy coming from Elf on a Shelf 1738.
Okay. That'll be weird. No, that's actually true though. The first 3 teams she went positive against.
38.
Elf on a Shelf went 17-38 in a series versus Fisher
Like, wait,
What
why
would
did I
you
call
do,
Wadada?
Wadada?
Oh my
I
god!
wanted to.
Stop!
I am winning. I am winning.
Stop! No, chill.
All
What
right,
would
all
you do,
right.
PowerPixel? You just lose, bro. Look at this. Like I have to IG over Sora and Luna 1, bro. That's actually no, that's tough.
Okay, on a real note though, what are we expecting the teams to look like for OQ4? Or I guess it's OQ2 stage 2, whatever.
I think for OQ4, let's just kind of say it as it is. It is just OQ4 at this point in the year. I think personally, BZK Dawn will definitely look a lot better just because of the fact that like they lost at quite literally like right at the finish line, and
Yeah.
it's because of outside factors. Like it is outside factors at the end of the day, and I think in general, I have enough faith in these people specifically to say that hey, these guys, these folk will probably make Swiss, just generally speaking, because of the fact that I think it's very unfortunate what happened, but I think they've now learned from that and they're gonna go forward in the right direction. Hopefully.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have a hot take about this. I do think if Berserker's Dawn had beaten Artificial Intelligence in the uppers and gone to the other side of the lower bracket, I think they would have qualified.
Against 10x, they would have played.
I believe it would be 10x.
Maybe. I just think. I mean, either way, it's just unfortunate. Like there's this situation, so you never know. Yeah, I agree. I think they're a good team.
I bring up subs because the fact that I think subs, just generally speaking, in my experience, just like it's very rare in general that you find a player that is able to sub in and just like instantly like do as good, if not better, than the person that you had. It is almost impossible.
True.
You don't have to keep
Especially
like fucking over and over it. You don't
Okay.
have to, like
I was just
every single
simple.
time. Like I get it, it's passive aggressive. Like it's okay. Like if you're gonna be passive aggressive, at least just like say it. It's fine.
especially
It's
Okay.
actually
You
talking
want
about
like
it,
triple neg?
Biffy, keep in mind, is not a Sentinel player.
It's true.
well, this has happened twice now. That's also the other issue. They fucking subbed in for Ghost against Wadada, and it did not work out.
We need to free them from subbing. We need to ban Biffy from subbing.
We need to ban Biffy, guys.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's foul, but okay.
Sad Biffy.
Just not
My
let it
God.
happen.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, Biffy's good. I do think
Yeah.
Biffy is a duelist player at the end of the day, though, and putting them on that Senti role felt very uncomfortable playing against.
Yeah. Is there any other
Right.
teams we could talk about?
I think AI actually surprised me quite a bit.
I think they
Uh,
disbanded too.
AI
think that that's
is, I believe
their
they are
game.
already looking for 3.
Can I leak? Yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
think they
let's
posted it on
leak.
Twitter. It's not
Do you
leaked.
guys want to guess who I'm
Yeah.
trolling for?
Mac and cheese?
Okay. Actually, you're right.
Wadada.
It's
For my
true.
spot.
I didn't know Shopify Rebellion Gold was looking for one.
That team will never look for one. They are fucking. SRG, I have a lot of respect for them because of the fact that they do what a lot of esports orgs don't do, which is they have a plan at the start of the year and they're going to see through that plan to the end. A lot of orgs and etc. just don't do that, and I fully respect them for the fact that they do that. Let that be the management, but also the players and staff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when they put their head on something, they die by that hill, and that's I've seen many of orgs, teams, players, staff not do that, and it cucks them a lot of the time.
They're in challengers, by the way.
Yeah,
I
they
did not know that.
got promoted because of a lot of the challengers teams.
Chet's Pets.
Pretty much. Yeah, a lot of them just disbanded.
Yeah, Chet's Pets and
So,
Ambrosia both disbanded. Giving 2
That's crazy, bro.
spots.
Like second place to disband.
I don't think it's that crazy.
There's
Just because of
not
the
really
fact
very
that
much money in.
no, it's not the money thing. It's just because of the fact that, innately speaking, a lot of these teams, if you like really wanted to win, right, and like go to Ascension, you just beef up for this stage at this point. You beef up as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty decided right now that for example, NB, they're gonna be on top as number one seeding, etc. And a weird example as well would have been Ambrosia, but seeing how they've disbanded, but all the players ended up in like I would say pretty good spots, in my opinion. And I have like a lot of respect for the people in Ambrosia just because of the fact that we worked with them for an amount of time during their stage 2 run. Yes, Mr. King Fred was the assistant coach.
I'll say
Facts.
something completely unrelated. Going into the Swiss stage of GC this year, we have an interesting conversation to talk about FlyQuest Red. Going into main
This has
event,
to be impression bait. This actually just has to be impression
going
bait.
into main event, last event, they ended 8th place in the same spot as TV first rounded.
Okay.
Mm.
They dropped their best player onto the bench, and there's been no news of it since.
That's
I
true.
mean, at the end of the day, I think it's the same conversation we had earlier about the sub, where it's like it's very hard to get players that are as good, if not better, than the sub themselves, and like getting slotted in everything at the last second. Because I do think that the situation for FlyQuest is very unfortunate, and I do think the first round matchup of YFP is also extremely unfortunate because I do think that the YFPX squadron, a lot of people, even though they went like 5th, 6th, etc., right, that was a good
Mhm.
fucking squadron. That is a
Yeah.
very, very good squadron.
Yeah.
I
was
don't think
more
anyone either were very surprised by Ghost. I don't think a lot of people put bets on Ghost just in general.
Think they do that again though? I feel like it's like a run. I think
You think it's a fluke?
next, not a fluke. Like I think they're a good team, but top three I feel like would be like a team like you said, like YPX, FlyQuest Red. I think Ghost. I mean, they made top three, so they definitely could be gunning for it. But I mean, yeah, I would have had them like down here, like 7th, 8th. I think now maybe 5th, 6th, but
I think I definitely
like
thought
YPX is good.
Ghost was like a top 4 team, maybe top 6. But I did
Yeah.
not expect them to make the run to top 3. I think had they gone against Catface, it could have been a much closer game than against Aussie and Friends.
I
Just
guess
because I feel like Catface
also
would have punished them more.
I'll also state the fact that the way that they play, and I got to see this personally because we warmed up from them quite a bit actually, going into like Swiss, but also main event as well. That team changed quite a bit. Just like they were always willing to change, which is like very important, especially in the runs that they make. Because I remember we played them on Sunset in the match, and they instantly changed comps like afterwards. Because you can look at this on game, they instantly changed the comp after this.
Yeah,
They
the
was doing
double
by that.
Senti.
And it was very cool to see them make the run because like they obviously scrim partners and stuff like that, but also Bees generally speaking. I think a lot much like the OQs, a lot of people had certain impressions of certain teams going through, and that did not happen.
I think it's also harder with Swiss Stage because we did switch between that heavy Teo meta to Teo is dead. How our team's gonna adapt with like 1 week to practice.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it was that insane, or
And everyone
I don't
just
know.
went back to the old like 2024 comps.
Everyone went to old comps, but also be generally speaking, I had a conversation point about this with like a lot of coaches and just like people in general, where it's like Teo is this weird agent where it's oversimplifies the game to a point where it is everyone knows what's gonna happen in the match. Everyone knows.
Fuck.
Just looking up Google images.
Trying to show the people what Theo looks like.
I'll bring it up because the fact that like well, I was fucking shameless. I fucking abused the shit out of this agent. I went from a retired, decrepit old player to fucking being like unironically a fucking S tier player all of a sudden because I play Teo.
I
I
mean,
went
even
from
in main event where you didn't have that Teo anymore, you're still like absolutely
I was
frying.
fucking done. I was fucking done. Fuck.
You were 9th overall for stats.
That's bum shit. The fuck? I don't know. My fucking teammate got first stats. I'm like, shit. That's what I fucking need.
Your teammate also played 277 rounds in main event as Chamber.
Let's go. I am very happy about that this day. That like Starbound got to have them win stats and shit like that. Very cool. Very epic and cool.
I think it was expected with how good Starbound has looked in the entire season as this Chamber player. But I think like taking that over somebody like Dodona or Sarakat is really impressive.
Gotta bring up the 1738. It was fucked.
Yeah, just pull it up real quick.
Oh, did you pull up the 1738 Elf on a Shelf performance?
Do you pull it up just to stay humble?
I mean, I like to be like, I feel like, okay, listen, a lot of people say stuff and they're not ready to take like the backfire. So like I'm out here shit talking Oppie, right? Like I'm putting my opinion out there and then I'm keeping myself vulnerable to responses.
Vulnerable.
Gotta stay real.
Yeah.
So just, if the people need something to fire back on, got it right here.
If we do want to talk about something interesting, we can talk about last Swiss stage. This team Prosperity X came into the sub and looked like an entirely different team.
Yeah. Are we just gonna, the last segment is gonna be us glazing you? Is that what we're done?
First shot I played you in Swiss now.
Yeah, it was 12-0
Oh Jesus.
on
Oh,
Pearl.
Jesus.
And then we locked in for one round.
Where's that? Oh.
All good.
All good.
Oh, that's good.
All good. Happens. You know.
Was it?
Elf on a Shelf would know.
I've never been 13-0, let alone like 13-1, barely.
We
Seriously.
didn't get 13-0.
That would probably just never happen to me.
I don't know. I almost got 13-0 by 4 duelists on stage. That shit was fire.
Oh, that's a
That shit was
fucking
actually
throwback, bro. Wait, why am I switching up Wada though?
No, that shit was fire. That's why I bring up the sub thing though, because that happened and holy fuck, it was so bad because of the fact
Yeah.
that I guess weird lore about Brazil for like EG was the fact that we were told before Brazil occurred that we can't get anyone from the main event.
Yeah, why
Really?
was that? It's so weird.
And I hated it because of the fact that Riot and like no one else like stated it out loud.
Just like a random rule they kept in the back pocket.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's a generational fucking stat line, but I mean, god damn.
Unlucky.
It's very cool though to see Team Falcons and the like Zipto and their story go really well because I have a lot of respect for those people. I'm a little bit confused though to this day about specifically going to 2024 because I took a back step and watching it, right? Because I was retired at the time. I had stepped back from passion projects and a lot of things because of personal things, but also just things not working out in general. One of the oddities that I noticed is the fact that like I found it insane that in Berlin no one was able to take a map off SRG. And like it feels like that's true to this day. That a lot of the teams are just unable to take a map off in GC.
I mean,
Of
SRG with their old core 5 in the entire time of that team being together through whether it being SR or V1 only dropped
V1, yeah.
2 series ever.
Yeah, which I find is like kind of insane.
One of them was to you, right? Or was it both?
Like as a
Neither
competitor,
of them were to Wanda.
it's kind of insane.
No, because they lost to EG once,
Oh
and then what was
yes,
the
in
other loss?
the grand finals.
Yeah. Oh, and then they lost to G2.
No,
Right.
actually, it's one. They dropped one series and then one series against YFP when they had a sub in for Fluorescent.
Oh yeah, when Sarah was on like Duelist.
I believe it was Misu was subbing.
I thought it just like insane though. Not like it's a bad thing or anything like that. I just like find it like when I think about like competitors and like people that I compete, because like I have a lot of respect for like the people in SRG, just generally speaking. Um, I know when I run into rank them, I may not get that respect because I'm fucking trolling somehow. Well, I feel bad because every time I get in a rank game with them, I just fucking like int my brains out. It's actually just fucking insane. Whatever, against them though, fucking God's gift. It is actually just fucked. I've had this conversation before because of the fact that I know, in my perspective, if I was against someone, right, and they are God's gift against me, but every time they're like absolute fucking dog piss on my team, I'd fucking rage. I'd ironically just fucking lose it. And that's why I feel so fucking guilty.
Ranked is fake, bro. It doesn't count.
I do
Rank
have
is like,
a little note. I remember you brought up Passion Project. You weren't on the roster when it was formed, but my first ever VLR game happened to be Passion Project's first VLR game.
mm.
We got
That's a good note.
one round in
I
a
think
BO3.
It's good.
Passion Projects is definitely one of like the biggest cases for me because it for me personally, there was a lot of moments where like I fucked up pretty badly on it, and I say that specifically in the perspective of it was definitely the biggest learning experience for me in the aspect of like this was my first time like really trying to hard IGL, right?
Mhm.
And I definitely fucked up on certain aspects.
I mean, I think that's
'Cause,
bound to happen, especially with how
yeah,
like strong of a roster you guys were at the time, making like that deep run. A lot of the time, like I don't know your history before Passion Project, but obviously, like if there was any sort of like swaps going on, you're bound to have like growing pains with the team.
yeah. I say it because of the fact that a lot of the issues that I had on Passion of just like like in of itself like IGLing and stuff like that, I've actually smoothed it out because of the lot of issues I faced on Passion Project. I feel bad because of the fact that I wish I was there and like actually a capable IGL slash leader at the time, but I just fucking wasn't. So I'm lucky, really.
Mhm.
Kia Val,
Wow.
fucking
Classic player.
just exposing everybody. It's fucked.
I was just looking at the page and I just pulled it up.
I didn't realize we're fucking number 12 GC. The fuck is going on?
Number what? What?
Every time I look at VLR, I just fucking feel like a decrepit old person. I just realize how old I fucking am.
Oh, it's because it does the whole world. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised that I am shocked that we're higher than YFD.
Fun fact: somehow YDZ got bumped up from like top 300 to top 78 on VLR in this one event.
As a weird note,
Berserker's Dawn is up there.
as a weird note, I do find it very interesting to scroll up on the international stage, like what's going on.
Fuck. Technical difficulties.
Scroll it up because I do think that generally speaking, I'm starting to see a lot more new faces if you scroll up. Like obviously there's like the big three of like Vega, TL, and like SRG, right? And that's also Crew. I will always put fucking respect on the name because that is another team where they've owned the region for so long. But it's very surprising because of the fact that in EMEA and also like Latam North, we're starting to see like Akabe do well and like put up a showing and stuff like that. And not only that, we're starting to see Giant X and also Carmine Corp, which shout out to them. They're doing really well in their region. Carmine winning the past two stages and being on track to go to champs. Like they are looking very, very fucking good, and respect to them because of the fact that I as a team that as a I guess as a podcast, but also as like a competitor, I personally keep tabs and stuff like that of the international stage because the fact that it's very important to realize of like who you're gonna possibly go against, but also B, generally speaking, uh seeing what people are doing to try to break the mold. And it's very cool to see in EMEA people are breaking the mold. Very, very cool to see that. And not only that, with like Brazil, MIBRGC, always gotta shout them out. Shout out SRN.
Goats.
And
Can we-
not only that, seeing Basterda join that team is very cool as well.
I'd also like to mention Akave, by the way, in their region is currently 21-0.
Yeah, they'll keep on farming Latin North, I think. For the most part, from what I remember, I think for sure that they're definitely contending for champs, if not LCQ slot. No questions asked on like who's gonna be there. Because as someone who's like scrimmed this team pretty consistently on my time on Wadada and stuff like that, there is definitely I feel a gap when playing against them versus like other LATAM GC teams, generally speaking.
So,
Yeah.
who is their competition for the champ slot?
Crew, because LATAM North and South compete
Okay.
in a playoffs basically for who goes as the LATAM slot,
So in that
which I think
LC,
is weird. I think it's weird to this day.
if they do end up having to go through the LCQ, how do you think they're going to do it at the international stage? Or not international, but like
In the event,
outside of the LATAM region.
I mean, generally speaking, I think I'm unsure how they would do against, for example, TL or MIBR GC, just because of the fact that it would have to be LATAM slots, like LATAM slots, NA, and Brazil, because that's the actual LCQ,
Mhm.
if people didn't know that. And I know that these people can do well in their backyard, but I don't know how they would do against teams like that, because I know when I played against teams like MIB RGC or even like TL, they have a certain playstyle that if you have not played against it, it is very, very hard to go and dry and play against it. Because like I'll say that NA specifically, especially in GC, um, has a certain playstyle that a lot of people can get used to when they first play against it. Like it's
Mhm.
not that crazy when you go against it for the first time. And like I've been described that from like other players.
But I do
But
think LATAM
but like
also
as
plays the game.
a yeah, they do.
Like,
But it's just this I've never seen teams more live and die by the sword than I have in LATAM or in Brazil. And that's very respectable just because of the fact that they do things their way and they're unapologetic about it, which is very key. So I think they're on a good track as well. I think shout out to like Peru specifically with like Rami. That player is extremely fucking talented. Crew
Wait, this is
plays.
the wrong crew.
Plays.
Wait a second here. I was like, wait, they're in Americas.
Yeah.
They're really good.
is that a new pickup? Who'd you say?
Rami. Rami's good. I know Rami on crew is good. I'm fucking there's somewhat I'm fucking
Who?
losing it. I'm starting to become old and decrepit.
I see a Rami. Wait, who?
No, it's I've mixed up the names. GG.
Oh.
I mixed up with the love player.
Oh, so it's Rami on
Dodds.
left?
It's Dodds.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, they're
Dodds, yeah.
insane.
Dodds is
Dodds
insane.
is very fucking good on crew.
Yeah.
Because they remind me of certain players I've played against in the past. It's very cool to see that play style still be played. All right. With that though, going into OQ4, what the fuck is about to occur?
I think we're gonna
And
get a
y'all's
lot
eyes.
of random pug teams. And I think there's
Yeah,
also
a lot.
possibly not gonna be enough teams.
That's what I'm thinking, bro. Because, like, is this a leak? Like, okay, I'm in a server to trial it. There's a lot of people. Is that a leak? Because that's pretty vague, right?
As long as you don't say who or what.
Yeah, okay.
It's not a
It's
leak.
just a lot of people, and that's concerning to me. Because, like when does
In
like
4
this shit's
days.
almost
4
about to
days.
start? Yeah, you have like
Registration
a
locks in
handful of
4
people.
days.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like 10, 20 people in there. Like if they don't find a team, you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like concerning. There's so many people looking for a team right now. But I do think that like PowerPixel was saying, like if you really want to win, there's no better opportunity than right now. Like you literally doesn't even have to be good. Like obviously the better the team you can make, great. But like if you really just get 5 people together, like you ask your mom, dad to play, like you could really win this qualifier. Like it's really open.
Dad.
I do
Yeah.
think teams to look out for in OQ4 will be Respawned Cats, Alliance Angels,
Oh,
I can agree
facts,
with that.
facts. It's a
Berserker's
good shout.
Dawn, and I honestly don't think AI.
I think AI, if they follow like Kama was talking about, they could definitely for sure make it.
I think we'll get a fourth team of just 5 random strong individual players.
Just full wild card. Just full wild
Yeah,
card.
just a full wildcard team. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
me.
they'll end up qualifying.
Yeah. It's gonna
That's
be
you.
Elf on a Shelf. Yep.
I'll finish up with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even
It's
if you just
beautiful.
look at this OQ, there are so many pug teams in it. Even just in the
Yeah.
top 16. I mean, we have Brickville, we have um,
They're
Demon Pug.
Pug.
Yeah, literally Demon Pug. I believe Skyline was originally a pug roster.
That's a pug, yeah.
Mac and Cheese, I believe, is also a pug.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Me personally, I would love to see people kind of do like Wada is like a very puggy team in general. This is a general thing that like is true. And it'd be very cool to see more teams kind of have that fashion of like being a pug team and having a lot of success, stuff like that.
I think
That'd be very cool.
a lot more teams need to play into their individual comforts, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
I
play
agree.
play around their players' strengths rather than trying to play the game super properly.
I agree. Another note that I forgot to say about Berserker Son, and it's it's illustrated perfectly here. Um, I don't think Abby 2K is the greatest Euro player of all time, and I think
Just fucking going at
no,
it.
no, I'm not.
It's
I'm
just
not shit
crazy.
talking her.
No chill.
I think no, I think
We're trash
it's
talking the
illustrated
gut.
perfectly here. Look, she has a rough game on Yoru. It's not her fault. She's not great on Yoru. Next game, they opt into comfort, even though they lose. She's top fragging the server. I think that just says it all in and of itself. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of just going off stats, but I do
Yeah,
think
but
it's true.
that aim itself is a conundrum because of the fact that you won on the your agent, but lost on this Phoenix agent.
Oh, bro, don't bring that up. I look pretty
Exactly.
smart there for a
No,
second. Let's
it's
chill.
innately a conundrum if you do that though.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But I do. Okay, okay, that's just a bad example. But I do think it is a good. It's a good thing to opt into, especially in a qualifier where every team or every other team at least is going to be a pug roster. Like you don't need to have the perfect comp and the perfect default to win
I
games.
am a little confused about the Abby 2K Yoru because from what I heard previously, she didn't want to play Yoru.
No, she's been not complaining about it, but I've heard like nothing good
Damn.
about it for a
Bring up the
while.
receipts. Just bring up the fucking receipts.
I
Or
think
not
Abby 2K's
her. I just
Yoru is good. I'm just confused because I thought Abby 2K didn't want to play Yoru.
no, I
So
agree.
why opt into this double duelist?
Mm,
But I guess I also don't know what else Abby 2K would play other than duelist.
uh, yeah, I don't know. She's mostly duelist. I mean, she has a little bit of Senti, but they already have a hard Senti. So, I mean, I think this team, like with Abby 2K, kind of has to double duelist if Kestrel wants to duelist. But
I
I don't
do
know.
think putting Kestrel on something other than duelist is missing out on
Can
a
we
lot of
please
talent.
all just agree on the fact that like they'll definitely qualify if they
Yeah,
I mean,
we know they'll definitely
no,
qualify.
they'll qualify, but
It's
like I'm
just a
trying to
question of
figure
how
out
good
like
they
what
do
they
in
could
Swiss
fix.
stage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I feel like they cap out with this like iteration of Abby on Yoru, Kestrel on like the Jet.
I think
Like it
it's
has.
very unfair to say that. I think it's
I agree.
extremely unfair.
You think?
I think they'll have
I
a
say it
good
because
skill
the
cap.
fact I say it because of the fact that I've competed long enough to know a very weird thing about this game. And it's the fact that this game is a fucking bag of marbles. Valorant. It just is. No, it literally the fucking like core thing about Valorant is that there's constant fucking meta shifts and shit like that, right? We can all agree on this. Just
I
random
said the
ass fucking
thing.
Meta
meta shifts.
shifts.
Oh my god, you said the thing.
Oh my god.
It's fire.
But we can all agree on this, right? That
Yeah.
they'll just
Yeah.
randomly one day just be like, you know what? Let's just kill like this person's career. Like if they play this agent, they're fucked now, or whatever. Or they play in this certain style, you're fucked.
Fnatic.
In the case of fucking Swift stage, it is not at all like what is most optimal at times, especially in Swift stage. I would say it is just how well can you actually adapt to what comes to you in the
I agree.
game. Because we went 4-1, and one of the toughest moments at our time for WADA, at least in my experience, was definitely the time of like we were talking about of like Teo shifting and like going back into like non-Teo meta. And like we found success because of the fact that we had played the game like everyone in WADA has played the game long enough so that we know what it's like to play without Teo. But also B, I think a lot of people, generally speaking, you play it for 4 months and then you're instantly told this shit is done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people overcommitted and they tried to stick to it, and they just got instantly fucking evaporated. Because of the fact that the reason that they would win with Tejo after the nerf was not because of Tejo himself. It's just because of the fact that they would like out aim or just have better macro or some shit like that. It is not because of innately speaking of Tejo.
Yeah. I think
This
Berserkers.
is just foul. This guy.
No, I actually love Trent. I'm just chilling.
Then why are you bringing him up? Why are you bringing him
Just
up?
to look at his beautiful face. Come on.
I think Berserkers has a very high skill ceiling because of the minds that they have between their
Mhm.
coach, who is a really good coach, and I mean Kestrel. Not to like glaze Kestrel too hard, but I mean she is one of the smartest GC players I know.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I
I
think
agree.
once they sort the role issues, they are going to thrive.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think they make Swiss regardless, and then, you just have to see from there. But
Sure.
yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah.
Does anyone have any closing statements or anything they would like to say?
I think the meta has shifted.
Great comms, beautiful comms.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, great.
Why does he win?
All right, well, yeah, that's it. I'll find a shelf team.
My final thoughts is stop playing Chamber. No more Odins.
Oh man.
No more
It's
judges.
ironic.
No more outlaws, and no more opping.
What? What? So your teammates just
Stop that shit.
die.
Only Vandals, only Deagles.
No, only
Rest in
classics.
peace,
Some
Starbound.
Guardians.
Only classics.
Only classics. Use the Water Classic.
Yeah, that one's out already.
God,
Yeah.
I fucking wish.
Oh, sorry, I
God,
forgot. That's a
wish.
leak. My bad. Oh man.
Nice, bro. All right, stop the recording. That was pretty good.